Hi, welcome back to yet another video. It's so good to see you. I'm glad that you're doing well. I hope that you're happy to see me too. Now, without further ado, of all of 10 seconds, I've come on here to confess a deep, dark secret. I think I like country music. Now, I know. No. Don't try to click off. We're going to be okay. I'm just going to take you on a little bit of a journey. Now, prior to this moment, I would say you and I are in the same boat. Neither of us really like country music. When we think of country music, we think of songs like this.
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
However, there is something undeniable happening in country music right now. There is this little split off in the genre called alternate country. It reminds me a lot of the music from the early 2010s, where it's kind of more folksy. Yeah, Rivers and Roads, the Lumineers, all these different artists. All the music that you hear on SUV commercials nowadays that are trying to sell you a 4-door for the family. Perhaps there's a slight tinge of nostalgia in me that makes me enjoy this, but country music has taken a turn, or at least alternate country has taken a turn, where lyrics are becoming important. I think that for a very long time, country music has been a caricature of itself. It's almost as if you have a few instruments that are key to making a country song, then you go into a word bank and you choose tractor and three-legged dog and beer and whatever it is. And there you go. You've got a hit country song. I think there's a time and a place for that. I enjoy some old country songs. You know, country roads are taking me home, and they take me every single time. John Denver takes me to the place where I belong. I think that a lot of us listen to country extremely passively. We're not going to throw it into a playlist. But I have something here for you today that is an absolute game changer. This artist is an absolute game changer. Do I sound hyperbolic? Yes. Do I believe exactly what I'm saying? Also, yes. So the other day, I'm on Spotify, as I typically am, trying to find new music, and there is an album that's suggested to me. The songs are extremely popular around the world right now. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let's see what it is. I like the album art. Looks pretty cool. Guy smoking a cigarette. I was like, oh, this is going to be such a sick indie song, such a sick indie album. Let's check it out. I hit play. And I'm like, oh, this isn't quite what I had signed up for initially, but I kind of rock with it. So I gave it the old millennial listen, where you listen to 10 seconds of each song to determine if an album is trash or fire immediately. And as I listened and I was going through the track list, I found myself listening to longer snippets of each song, until I had realized that I listened to the album 3 times in a row. And I'm like, yo, this album has no skips. Who is this artist? What is going on? I'm about it. So I looked into it, and the artist's name is Bryan. And I was like, oh man, every country artist seems to have the last name Bryan. So I was like, all right, well, let's see what else we got going on. As I do with anything I enjoy, I went onto the World Wide Web and did a little bit of research. So I looked up any articles I could find. I looked up any interviews with Zach, and I was pleasantly surprised. I know that we can separate the art from the artist, but I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't listening to some dirtbag, you know? A lot of people can separate the art from the artist, but for me, it's a little bit difficult. That line is extremely skewed. Upon listening to the interviews and reading articles and just learning about Zach, I was like, yo, this guy just seems like a good dude. I found out that he is from Oklahoma, and he's 27, maybe 28. I don't know when his birthday is exactly. I'm not stalker level. I'm not a Swiftie level, but I might be by the end of this video. Apparently, he was in the military and would just write songs, and he posted some up on the internet, and they blew up. And he was like, "Yo, I'm at a crossroads here. I can either continue my military career, or I can see where this music thing takes me." And thank God he chose the latter, because this man is putting out some of the best music of our time right now. I would say that I listen to quite a bit of music. And the Zach Bryan self-titled album has to be hands down the best album that I've heard this entire year. It's not going to win the awards that it should, and it may not get the exposure that it should, but it is so good. I don't even think that Zach Bryan and the team that he works with or his management expected the album to blow up the way that it did, because I went to the record store down the street and was like, hey, can I get the new Zach Bryan? And they're like, oh, we actually don't have it. And the album had been out for a couple months at this point. So I was like, okay, put me on the waiting list. I'll go ahead. I'll get it when it comes in. And so nearly 3 months after the album is released, the vinyl comes out. Now, to me, either that means management is horrible at their job, or they just did not expect this to blow up in the way that it did. And I think it's the latter on that one, because this album is incredible. As I listened to it those 3 times consecutively, back to back to back, three-peated it, I was like, whoa, there's no skips on this. And I really feel like he's taken me into this world with his penmanship. So veering off a little bit, I checked out similar artists to see what this whole alternate country was about. And I was kind of blown away. Because like I said before, I felt like lyrics were the back burner for country songs. It was just all about hitting these certain points and then you got a good country song. Alternate country feels so punk rock right now. Punk rock was like the anti-establishment, doing all these cool things back in the day. It's lost a little bit of that through commercialization. But whether I agree or disagree with what these artists are communicating, they're saying something. And it's coming from a real place. And I appreciate that. Because for me, I'm not the person who's going to listen to a song, hear a beat, and be like, yo, that's a banger right there. I am really invested in lyrics, and I'm really invested in the performance of the song by the artist. I listened to it, I was like, okay, cool. I like the instrumental. It's fun. It's whatever. Then I went and read the lyrics, and I was like, wow, this guy is really saying something here. And the performance, his vocal performance, whoever mixed and mastered this self-titled album, shout out to them, because they captured such heavy emotion in every single track. It really feels like there's such a cohesion between him writing it and him performing it. It feels like it's all coming out of his mind, out of his experience, and honestly, it transports me and makes me feel something. And I think that that's what a lot of music nowadays lacks, is it doesn't make me feel anything. I'm not saying that you have to feel something every time you hear a song. You can listen to a song and just be like bopping your head, having a good time. I'm a fan of The Weeknd. The Weeknd typically doesn't say a whole lot. There are some songs and some albums where he gets into the stuff. But for the most part, I mean, Starboy, I can't relate, but I like it, you know. And then you have other songs where it's like, okay, cool. I feel these emotions that you're communicating right now. And I think that Zach has lightning in a bottle here. I think that he's captured all of it to where it sounds good. The recording is good. The performance is good. The lyrics are good. And he seems like a good guy. I don't know the guy personally, obviously, but he seems like he's just a regular dude. Upon first glance, these songs seem very simple and very straightforward. What I think can be lost in that is how effortless it is. I think that it's difficult to make songs that just sound effortless. It just sounds like they're coming from a real place, an authentic place. I think that that's what songwriters are trying to capture when they are recording. But it seems as if Zach has caught that and he's running with it. And thank God he has. This album is incredible. Jumping into the album a little bit, the song that really was the bait, so to speak, if I'm the fish, was Spotless. The chorus is simple, but it hits. I ain't spotless, neither is you. For once in my life, I'm gonna see it through. If you want spotless, I'll always lose. I don't want love, lover, I want the truth. That brings me back to that Kendrick Lamar song, Loyalty. He doesn't want love, he wants loyalty. So, I mean, is Zach Bryan the Kendrick Lamar of alternate country? Maybe we crown him king. But I think just the simple fact of he's not a perfect guy, And if you're trying to measure him up to perfection, he's always going to come up short. I think every single person can relate to that. And I think that what he's done with these choruses that feel effortless is he's created anthems for people that are relatable. I think most anthems are anthems because they're relatable. Everyone can sing along, everyone can understand what's going on, and they can resonate with it. And I think that that's pretty cool. Another fun aspect of the song is that he has the Lumineers on there, and the harmonies are just chef's kiss, beautiful. A few other songs that I think are incredible that are on the album is Tourniquet. Now, if you are in your feels, Zach Bryan will keep you there. If you are not in your feels, Zach Bryan will take you there. He's got this chorus on Tourniquet. I bandage up your body and bones and your bad days too. Take care of the blood that your love runs through. I know all the damage that some days in the dark world does. You were laughing last week, something I dreamed of. Me reading it does no justice to it. Him performing it and him singing it, oh, it's beautiful. I'm just like, yo, this man's life is lightweight tragic, but I'm here for it because it makes me feel something. And that's all I want. That's what I want from music right now, is I want to feel something. Another fantastic song off of the self-titled album is Tickin'. The verse 1 opened with just opened up with some hard-hitting lines here. I'm cutting ties with things that bind my heart to this world. I love you and I'm willing, but I cannot keep you, girl. Philly by the morning and Ohio by the night. The thing about a long rope is you can't hold on too tight. The thing about this song is the closing lines is a refrain of the chorus. I'm cutting ties with things that bind my heart to this world. I love you and I'm willing, but I cannot keep you, girl. Philly by the morning, Ohio by the night. The thing about high hopes is you can't hold on too tight. It's just beautiful. It's simple, it's straightforward, it's effortless, it's beautiful. Highly recommend listening to the self-titled Zach Bryan album. 100%. I was like, okay, Zach, you got a beautiful little album here. Let me go back into your discography and let's see what else you got. So he has quite a few projects out. Some notable projects that he has out are Deanne, Elizabeth, American Heartbreak, and the latest release, which is Boys of Faith, which has a song featuring Bon Iver, which highly would recommend. Very fantastic. But I jumped into American Heartbreak. Don't let the track list deter you from giving this a chance. There are 34 songs, and this is a 2-hour album, and you know how I feel about long albums. I don't like them. This could probably easily be 2 albums, but for you, I traversed the landscape of this very, very long album in order to see what bangers there were. And my God, there are bangers in here. One of the songs that really stuck out to me, which I know is a popular song by him, is Heavy Eyes. Heavy Eyes, just the emotion in the performance. I'm going to continue to repeat that because that's really, really what sets Zach apart from everybody else. But Heavy Eyes, highly recommend. If Spotless was the bait, the song that truly hooked me, that made me a Zach Bryan fan, was Something in the Orange. Again, a song that feels effortless, feels straightforward, feels simple. But this chorus, to you I'm just a man, to me you're all I am. Where the hell am I supposed to go? I poison myself again, something in the orange tells me you're never coming home. Now, currently in my life, I am in by no means a space where I feel sad about my relationship or anything. I'm very happy, been married for a little while now, and it's fantastic. It's better than advertised, to be honest. But this song makes me want to have a broken heart. And I think that that's what's so sick about this is like, okay, cool, I'm not in that place, but I can relate to what you're saying still. Because what you're saying is coming from a place of experience and authenticity, and that definitely comes across. If you do not listen to any songs, anything but one, listen to Something in the Orange. Something in the Orange. If you don't like that song, you're not going to probably like any of the other songs. But Something in the Orange is just fantastic. My favorite version of Something in the Orange is the Z&E version. But the other one is also awesome. It's just like one of the two is a little bit more acoustic. One other highlight that I will say from the American Heartbreak album was his cover of You Are My Sunshine. Now, For me, that is an incredibly special song because my grandma would sing it to me each night whenever I'd stay over at her house as I was going to sleep, or she would play it for me on guitar. And so that song really has a lot of deep meaning for me. And his performance of You're My Sunshine had me in tears. It was pretty. It brought me back to those moments. And honestly, shout out to him for that, because it was a really special moment that I had just listening to that and bringing me back to those memories with my grandma. I think that overall, listening to Zach's music has given me hope for the country music genre. It really, really feels like country music is making a huge comeback as far as pop culture goes. And I am absolutely here for it. And I think of a shift in focus back to songwriting and lyricism also gives me a lot of hope, especially in the age where AI is making music for us now. I'm by no means opposed to technology. You know, the AI song with Drake and The Weeknd, it was indeed a banger. But the emotion and performance and feel behind Zach and what other people are doing right now, I don't think that an algorithm can repeat that. I think that AI can definitely expedite some creative ideas in the creative process, and I think it should be used as a tool, but not as a substitute. It just simply cannot become a substitute for artistry. With all of that being said, if you listen to the self-titled album or any Zach Bryan song and you don't agree with me and you think it's hot garbage, that's completely fine. No big deal. I just really enjoyed it and I wanted to share it with you, as I have shared it with all of my friends. They're probably so annoyed, but honestly has like a 99% hit rate. I'm officially in the Zach Bryan fan club. You could also be that too if you check out some of his songs. I have created a Spotify playlist, which will be linked in the description. It's called Zach Bryan, NEN, Never Ending Network. And there's 16 songs on there. It's about an hour long, but I think that these songs really highlight who Zach Bryan is. And if you don't like them, then it's probably not for you. But if you do, I would encourage you to dive a little bit deeper into the discography that he has, because I have yet to hear a song where I'm like, yo, this is absolute trash. I think that all of his songs have merit. Most of his songs are awesome, and then there's a few that are just absolute gems. Shout out to you, Mr. Zach Bryan. If you ever see this, I really appreciate what you're doing. I really appreciate your perspective, and I thank you so much because your album has had an impact on me and the people around me. So shout out to you. And since we're giving shout outs, I also would like to give a shout out to you because you made it to the end of the video. And for that, you get 1 country star, which honestly is worth 1,000,000 gold stars. So here's your country star. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time, and I will see you in the next video.